It's Lori K today with a menopause check-in to get through this thing called midlife. We're on week 4, day 6, where I'll be talking about creating income in midlife as a solo mom, going over non-traditional methods I use, staying open to opportunities, and knowing when a project is worth continuing or not. We are on page 169 in our Menopause Self-Care Journal. If you want to pick this up on Amazon or follow along in a notebook, this page is Getting to Know Me Now, my voice. I'm going to go over the question. I filled this out this morning. So I'll go over this paragraph, a couple questions here, and then I've got some notes that I wrote to go over everything that I had on my mind this morning. Are you ready? So in your notebook, we always want to start with writing down today's date, which I neglected to do today. So let me do that. And then I like to put today's day. All right, this is what I said in the book itself. Every act of self-care is proof that you're more than the roles others have asked you to play. Own your well-deserved crown. Embrace your uniqueness. And honor the woman you've become. Your voice is a gift. Share it with your sisters walking this path and generations to come. Our first question is, where have I been shrinking to fit expectations? This got really deep for me this morning as I contemplated this in this time of my life right now. First, I was like, hey, I don't want to be in survival mode anymore because it makes me feel smaller. And financially, I've been just trying to keep my head above the water. That shrinking of having to do it all. Societal expectations for single moms are, we expect them to be super women. They are in charge of their finances and taking out the garbage and the car maintenance, all the things, the scheduling, even non-traditional single moms. I mean, women in general, I think, take on the emotional, the mental, the spirituality, the relational, the school, after school problem, chauffeuring, grocery shopping, fixing food, cleaning up, and job managing, and self-care is just put on the back burner until we hit burnout. Single moms, the system is set up for struggle. I don't like it. How will I express my needs, wants, and desires without shame or guilt now? So go ahead and pause this video if you want to answer that question for yourself. This is just where my headspace was this morning. This might be completely different than what you were feeling, but you answer it the way you are feeling right now. Express my needs and wants by saying no to what I don't want to do without giving a reason, just like the kids used to do. No, I don't want to. Oh, why not? Because I said so. Like, unless it's like a big deal, a big event, or, somebody that I love and adore, and I just know I don't have the capacity to do this, then I might say, I don't want to burn out. I'm feeling in burnout mode. I cannot physically do this. I don't want to feel shame or guilt around this. I just know my body and what it needs right now. And that is important, just as important as your event or your ask or whatever it is that came up. I deserve getting my needs met and showing up for myself without guilt or shame. And I hope you can understand that. No is a full sentence. All right, going on to the next question. How can I show up as the person I'm becoming without stepping back? And what changes will I create? Woo! It's got really deep for me this morning, man. I will show up unapologetically for the goals I intend to accomplish with building a better income with grace and empowerment for myself. I feel as if I'm constantly like empowering other people and cheering them on and helping others. We get in that trap of doing that as women. It's time to empower myself with that same self-talk that I give to others. It is time, Mama. Let's go. I'm giving my permission to build the income and the life that I want. Stability rather than constant survival. The changes I will create is by taking action, by focusing on building an income through my hyper-focused passions that can be all over the place at times, building as I go, making daily changes, small changes every day, such as researching the best income opportunity for my abilities. I'm very open-minded about what to try and do next. Experimenting with new ideas to see what works. Testing new approaches. When something shows potential, I commit to learning it fully and seeing it through. And if it shows promise, I'm all in. But I want to find non-traditional ways to earn consistent income to support my lifestyle. Building self-directed income. How do I do that? This has been my method. This has been my plan. What I typically do when I find an opportunity that I want to try and learn everything about, I use a 90-day checkpoint to reassess where I am as I'm learning and growing and teaching myself how to use different tools to make this particular thing grow. So in the 90 days, I look at what has improved, what didn't improve, what to change for the next quarter. I typically will give 12 months to see traction, 18 months to see proof if it's working, and a maximum of 24 months before I pivot. If it's not taking off, it's not in my budget to hire out what's not in my realm of capabilities. It's not steady growth despite consistent effort. It's time to call it a hobby and pivot. Next. Move on. It's not failure for trying. I've learned valuable insights and new data to take on to the next project. When I say I'm building self-directed income, I'm not just talking about one idea. I've tried different paths, and each one has taught me valuable skills and lessons that I've carried into the next project. Over the years, I've sold digital products like ebooks and worksheets and merchandise, health coaching services. I put music on streaming platforms and Bandcamp, which is still up. I did a podcast. I've written on Substack. I published my books on Amazon. Explored AI with app designing and other things. And now I'm trying to create a community here on YouTube. I am open-minded, but the point isn't to do everything all at once. It's testing what works until something becomes consistent income for me. I'd rather be the one trying and experimenting than the one criticizing. The ones doing nothing always have the most to say, don't they? And part of building the future I want in life is taking the time for my self-care. Such an overused word, isn't it? But part of that for me is doing these check-ins with you and doing it once this series is over every day. And tracking my menopause symptoms to better assess where I am to improve. The HRT, I upped it. I do have more energy. It helped a little bit with the fatigue poquito. So I'm tracking that. You've been here with me on this little journey, and I love that. So let's go into the daily check-in. Write down the date and your weather. What's your weather like right now? And also in the comments, I would love to hear where you are in your midlife journey with creating income. Have you tried some things, didn't pan out? Are they hobbies now? Or did you just say, okay, next, done with that. Got to move on to the next thing. I will tell you, the last MLM, multi-level thing I did was in 2018, but I still use the product. I wasn't much of a salesperson for it, but I love the product, which was the Beamer. You know, it's one of those things I lay on every morning at 8 minutes and at nighttime at 8 minutes, and it micro circulatory. Anyway, okay. So, what's your weather? What time did you get to sleep last night? And what time did you wake up? How many total hours? Ooh. Wait, I think it was 7:30. 6 hours for me. Nighttime interruptions. And your quality of sleep, 1 to 5. 5 being the worst. I'm giving that a 2. 6 hours is not enough. What was your morning mood like this morning? Happy, neutral, tired, sad, anxious? I'm giving myself a neutral. What was your afternoon mood? Happy, neutral, tired, sad, anxious. Evening mood, same. Your energy level, and you can track that morning, afternoon, and evening also if you like. My energy level is somewhat low today. Your medications and supplements taken. Here we go with the water intake. Cheers. How many glasses did you have today? Onto the meal tracker, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks. Write down what you had over the course of the day. And exercise. How much movement did you get today? Just some walking in, some running, jogging, cardio, yoga, weights. Is it a rest day? Every day is a rest day. Time, effort, and goals did you put into this? Huh? I did not do much because it's cold. Brr. Any symptom changes, new, better, or worse, lifestyle changes lately, diet, exercise, sleep, stress, medicine, dreams you remember from last night. And then on to our menopause symptom tracking. Rate each symptom you experience today on a scale of 1 to 5. 5 being the worst. How is your anxiety level? And your bloating. What was your body odor? Body aches, brain fog, breast discomfort, depression level, digestion issues, fatigue, hair loss or growth, hot flashes. You be checking these off, or you can just be putting a number by each one of them. Hot flashes, incontinence, irregular heartbeat, palpitations, irritability. Scale 1 to 5. How were those itchy ears today? Itchy skin. The worst you've ever had, 5. Libido changes, memory problems. Mood swings, nausea, nerve pain, night sweats, night sweats, shortness of breath, skin problems, sleep trouble, vagina irritation, vertigo, weight gain. Do you have something other than that? Other symptoms and notes you want to write down? We're getting down to the end of our menopause check-in series. We're doing the recap tomorrow, and then I will do the monthly recap. We only have 2 more after this, so I hope you stick with me and you've enjoyed the series as much as I have, and you will continue on after this series to do your check-ins and self-care. Boy, I appreciate this community so much. Thank you for commenting and watching the videos and liking and sharing and subscribing and all that jazz. Yeah, thank you. TTFN, my friends. Ta-ta for now.